Week's new podium vehicle, we got the Warner HKR. This is a sedan, surprisingly. It looks more like a muscle car or a pickup truck to me. Anyway, let's test try this thing out, see how it performs. Okay, for a pickup truck, it's actually not that bad. I don't mind this vehicle. And to be honest, this vehicle is much better than last week's podium vehicle. It doesn't make that any weird sounds or anything. I think this car is perfect, actually, surprisingly. This car handles well, it performs well, it looks great. That's all I can say really about that. It turns okay. It could be better with the tuning, but I think it still turns alright. The top speed's pretty good, but what you'd expect that from a sedan class, kind of. Anyway, let's move on to the next one, which is going to be the OB Tailgater S, which is another sedan. This is the OB Tailgater S. This is another sedan car, so let's just test drive this thing out. Okay, so everything about this car I still like. Like, I like the tuning, I like the way it handles, I like the way it looks, I like the way it brakes, I like the way everything it performs about this car is just straight up great. I'd honestly recommend this car. Yeah, and it's a bonus extra. Not many cars have four doors, so it's a four-door car, so it could take a lot of people with that, so that's still pretty good. Let's move on to the muscle car, which is going to be the Vapor Dominator ASP. So cost this much, but damn, this one looks good. Anyway, let's test drive this thing out. Okay, so this car has some pretty decent brakes. It has some pretty decent tuning. It has some pretty decent looks. Overall, this car is all good. I was going to say something about this car, but I've completely forgotten about it. But let's move on to the next one, which we're going to do some open wheel cars this time for a change. We've got the R88 and the DR. I don't mind the look of these open wheel cars, but let's just try these things out. We've got the R88 And then the next test drive we'll do is the DR one. So let's test drive this thing out. Okay, so I was expecting this thing to be fast. I wasn't expecting it to be that fast. Anyway, the car, it performs well, it takes corners well, I guess you could say, because it is an open wheel car, you can't expect that. It brakes well, it reverses well, it looks well. Let's move on to the next open wheel car. And would I recommend it? Well, we'll just test drive the next one, we'll find out. But right now, the answer is yes, in case I forget to say. We have the open wheel car known as the DR1. Let's test drive this thing out. Okay, this car performed a lot better than I thought. Let's move on to the next car. I like the performance of the car, the looks of the car, the brakes of the car, everything about this car that I like, so I would definitely recommend it. Okay, so this is the Ocelot Pariah. Let's test this thing out. Okay, so I've heard that this car is the fastest sports car in the game. I kinda don't believe that now. Anyway, this car performs pretty good. I still like it. It fell off once, but still, I think this car performs well. It brakes well, it handles well, it looks well. It's time to move on to the next one. I would definitely recommend the Pariah. So let's move on to the next sports car. Next, we've got the Valier. Let's test this thing out. Okay, so the brakes are good on this car, but the turning on this car is pretty bad. It is pretty bad. So all around, I like the looks of the car. The car performs well, it looks well, but it doesn't turn well. So I guess I could say maybe no, don't buy this car if you're looking for performance. You're not going to win any races with this car anyway. But for looks alone, I would probably recommend it because it is a good looking car. I do like the look of this one. Let's move on to the Ocelot Lynx. Okay, so we got the Ocelot Lotus here. I'm not a huge fan of liveries, so let's test this thing out. I know the liveries have nothing to do with test driving the car, but let's just test drive this thing anyway. Hey, so good news is I didn't fall off the edge, so this car does take corners well, and it does brake well, so I would recommend this car. Yes, yes, I would absolutely recommend this car. So, performance good, brakes good, looks good, but it would look better without the livery, but let's move on to the VSTR, which I believe is the Test Ride's prize ride this week, so let's move on to that and see if I would recommend trying to win it, you know? Okay, so this is the VSTR. Let's see if this thing performs well, because it is the prize ride this week, not the test ride. Not the podium vehicle, sorry. Okay, so braking and turning is great on the car. I didn't fall off once. Let's see, what else do I like about the car? I like the looks. I mean, the backlights are kind of off to me. I don't really like the backlights. But yeah, anyway, the car looks alright overall. It performs well, it turns well, handles well. But I try and win it. Probably. It's a free car. I mean, I guess a bonus feature is that it's got 4 doors. So let's move on to the supercars, which we've only got 2 left. This is the 811. This car has been removed from the game, unfortunately. So you can't buy it on the website, but you can buy it from the Alice Car Meet this week. So if you guys like this car, I'd honestly recommend you get it. But let's just move on to the test drive and see what I think of the car's performance, the way it looks, the way it brakes, and everything else. So yeah, let's just try this thing out. Okay, so braking performance, it's great. I like the brakes on the car. The turning, it could be better. But I'd say when you upgrade this car, it could be better than what it is. I don't actually know if I own this car, so I might actually consider buying this. But what do I think of the car overall? Like the looks alone. I do like the looks of the car, especially the back and the front. It kind of looks like it was stretched out a bit, you know? But let's just move on to the next car. So yeah, I would recommend this car. Let's move on to the next one, which is the Torero XO, which I believe is a new car, but I don't think I've test driven it that much. So I'm hoping my friend will not be seeing this video. No offense to you, but you would like this car. And if you guys don't know who I'm talking about a friend called Kurt that comes occasionally to make videos with me. Anyway, this is the Torero, and I believe this has a retractable spoiler. But this car is nearly $3 million, and I don't know if I really want to spend that much money again on this game. But this is the Torero XO. So let's move on to the test drive. I'm not excited for this car, and I know this car is yours too. So let's move on to the test drive. Dodger. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. This car has great back braking, but it can't turn for nothing. I don't think I like the way this thing can brake. It can't brake. It can't brake. I mean, it can't turn. Sorry, it can't turn. Anyway, let's move on to if I would recommend this car or not. Yes, I would recommend this car because it looks. Well, actually, no. Actually, I wouldn't recommend this car because it's too expensive. But if you're not worried about price and you want to upgrade a car, this is probably going to be a good one for you. Even so, you might not even need to upgrade the car at all. It looks pretty good on its own, you know, like on pen and paper. This car looks pretty good. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.